Missing the days when everything felt easier with your body? I will share 7 simple exercises that bring back the mobility and good shape of your youth. So join me with these practices and let's discover what it means to become and live pain-free. You want to learn the special secret sauce in how you can stay youthful and young for the rest of your life. And I'm going to give it to you. Are you paying attention? Here, here are some beautiful, wonderful poses, muscle activation practices and stretches that you can start to do to maintain mobility. I think we can all objectively agree that we get old in our bodies because we get stiff. We also get old in our bodies because gravity is constantly pulling our spine down. One of the things that I've noticed a lot in my life is that when people look old, it's because they're hunched over. Gravity has really pulled their spine down. So if we want to maintain our youth in our body, 2 things to kind of keep in mind. Number 1, we want to maintain our mobility. We want to have a healthy sense of mobility and range of motion. 2, we want to maintain strength in our spine. This little sequence is fantastic if you want to maintain that sense of youthfulness in your body and spine. So again, my question to you is, are you going to practice it? Don't just watch the change, be the change. The very first practice we're going to do here is just a very simple pose called Sphinx pose. This is a variation on Cobra pose, which is called Bhujangasana. Now, this is a bit of a passive stretch here because we're passively elongating the front of our body, and we're also passively putting this curve in our lumbar spine. We're putting this at the beginning of our practice so we can spend the rest of our practice activating the muscles. Putting the curve in the lumbar spine is really important. If you look at a lot of elderly people, one of the things that you'll notice is how flat their lumbar curve has gotten. And they just have a flat back. Having a flat back is actually not healthy. We want that curve in our lumbar spine so that our lumbar spine is curving properly. That will affect our upper back, and most importantly, it'll also affect our neck placement. This is just a really nice way to put that curve back in the lumbar spine. The other thing that doing this pose will do is help to restore any kind of disc damage, any kind of herniated discs or anything like that. It will slowly start to have a positive impact on any of those kind of herniated discs and getting them to start coming back into the spine. One of the things that you'll kind of notice, like Destiny, I'm wagging my tail right now. This is just a kind of a gentle reminder just to relax in my lumbar spine. I'm not forcibly doing it. I'm just gently doing it just so that I can stay relaxed. As I'm breathing in and breathing out, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm sending my breath to my lumbar spine. So physiologically, of course, you're not sending your breath to your lumbar spine. It's impossible. However, you are sending an intention through the breath to relax in that area. So take a couple of very deep, relaxing breaths, send those relaxing breaths to the lumbar spine, and just invite yourself to relax there. All right? So breathing in and breathing out. Now, I will tell you, and I have to be honest with you, the first 2 things that we're going to be doing here are probably the hardest things after Sphinx pose. The 2 things that we're going to be doing here are probably the hardest things that you're going to have to do. If you find it challenging, it's because you're weak. It's because these muscles are not working properly. If you keep doing these for the next year, and I promise you it'll take about a year for most of you, you will feel like a new sense of resilience, of strength and confidence in your body that you've never had before. So keep up with these practices. They're so simple. They're the most simple things that you're going to do. Also, one of the hardest things you're going to do, but also the most rewarding thing you're gonna do. So the simplest and the most rewarding. So how long should you stay here? Typically, I like to stay in Sphinx pose for about 5 minutes. I feel like we've done it long enough for now. We're gonna move on to the next thing. If you feel like you wanna stay here a little longer, please do. This is a great way to start, again, restoring any kind of herniated discs. Also, if you're dealing with sciatic pain or any shooting pain down your legs, doing this every day, followed by what we're gonna do next, is just the perfect recipe. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do next is a pose called Shalabhasana, or Superman pose. Bring your forehead down, lift your legs, and lift your chest. Now, if you bring your hands to your lower back, you're going to feel those lower back muscles engaging here. And then slowly come on down. And then come on up. This is one of the best poses for anti-aging. I always get asked this question. If you had one pose, come on down. Relax and come on up. If you had one pose to offer people, what would it be? And I always say this one because this is the best way to keep your body young. Age always happens in the spine. Come on down. That's where we deteriorate the most. And then come on up. So this pose starts to not only activate the muscles of the spine, but it also starts to pump fresh blood and thereby nutrients into the discs and into the spine. Come on down. And then come on up. Very good. Remember to breathe, please. Breathing in and breathing out. Come on down. And then come on up again. Remember to lift the corners of your mouth. Because I know some of you are like cursing me right now. And then come on down. And then come on up again. And then come on down. And then come on up. Try to lift the legs up a little bit more if you can, and then come on down. And just take a real nice, long, restorative breath here, breathing in deeply and exhale deeply. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is use our arms here. So I'm gonna give you two options. The first option is keep your forehead on the ground, and then just start to bring your arms forward. As you bring your arms forward, try to lift them up. And then slowly bring them forward to 45 degrees. And then bend the elbows. And as you bend the elbows, lift the arms up as high as you can. Bring the arms forward again to 45 degrees. And slowly start to bring the arms back down. So that's option one, okay? Option two is to lift the chest up a little bit as you do this. This gets a little harder, but you'll feel the back muscles really starting to work here. Bend the elbows to 90 degrees. And then bring the arms forward. Again, if you do this every single day and slowly swim the arms back, take your time, don't do it fast, and then relax. And I promise if you guys do this every day, it's gonna be a game changer. You're gonna notice amazing things in your shoulders, in your upper back stability. You're gonna feel more mobility, and as you feel more mobility, you're gonna feel like, wow, I feel young and healthy and stable. Let's do it again. Remember, there's the option to keep the forehead down or lift the chest up a little bit. And then come on, bend the elbows to 90 degrees. Lift the forearms up towards the sky. Inhale, bring the arms forward. And then bring the arms back slowly. And then rest. Good, do it again. Now this time I'm going to give you a third option. Is lift up as high as you can. So lift up as high as you can. Now, if this is your first time doing this, maybe just do the first or second option. Bend the elbows. And then bring the arms forward. And then bring the arms back. I hope we're still friends. And then lift up. Some of you are thinking, there's gotta be an easier way. Nope, sorry. No easier way. You've gotta pay the piper. Bring the arms forward. Bend the elbows. Bring the arms forward. And then bring the arms back. Bring the forehead down and do a nice restorative breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. And then inhale. We'll do it one more time. Come on up. Slowly bring the arms forward or keep the forehead down. Lift the arms up as high as you can. Lift them up a little higher. Then bend the elbows. 90 degrees, no more than that. And then bring the arms forward. And then come back. Wonderful. The next thing that we're going to do here now is bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Bring the hands a little bit wider. Let the elbows come to neutral, so just wherever the elbows land. And then slowly start to press up into what we call cobra pose. And then come on down. We're going to do that a few times. This is a really great way, again, to start getting movement in the spine so we can start pumping nutrients into our vertebral discs. There's not a lot of blood flow down there, so doing this is a great way to start pumping blood into that area. Come on up. Keep the shoulders down. There's a tendency for the shoulders to pop up, so try to keep them down, and then come on down. And then come on up. And then come on down. And come on up. And come on down. Come on up. As you come up, inhale. And as you come on down, exhale. As you come on up, inhale. And as you come on down, exhale. As you come on up, inhale. And as you come on down, exhale. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, come on up. And you come up as far as you can, okay? And then come on down. And just relax for just a short moment. Let the hands come back down. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to finish with one more Superman pose. So I want you to lift the legs up and lift the chest up. And we're just going to hold it actually a little bit longer than 6 seconds. Try to lift up a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. And then come on down. Well done, my friends. All right, so from here, what I'd like you to do is just to roll over onto your back, please. Beautiful. So once you're on your back, we're going to do a couple of things here. The first thing we're going to do, and again, keep in mind that these are all stretches and muscle activations to begin helping you to start living a younger and more youthful life. So these are sort of my anti-aging, if you will, muscle activation practices here. So we're going to bring the knees above the chest, or sorry, above the hips. You're going to bring the hands to your knees and then just press your knees into your hands. This is such a great way to begin activating the trunk flexors, aka your core muscles. So one of the things that happens as we get older is we lose balance and then bring the feet down. As we lose balance, we lose that stability, we start to actually become more tight. Tightness is the result of instability. So if we want to avoid muscle tightness, we need to keep those muscles working, those muscles active. Bring the knees up, press the knees into the hands. And then slowly come on down. Beautiful. And bring the knees up. And press the knees into the hands. Do you guys feel your core muscles starting to work a little bit here? And then bring the feet down. Let's just take one restorative breath here. Inhale deeply. Inhale into the lower belly and exhale. And then bring the knees up above the hips. Press your knees into your hands. And then bring the feet down. And then bring the knees up and press the knees into your hands. Remember to turn the corners of your mouth upwards, because you know what you're doing is having a very strong positive effect on your body and mind and spirit. And then bring the feet down. And we'll do it one more time. Bring the knees up, press the knees into the hands. Beautiful. And then come on down. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is just some simple leg raises, okay? So what I'd like you to do is just lift one leg up. Now you have a couple of options here. One is to lift it up as high as you can. Two, lift it up just a little less high as you can, because I don't want you to cause any kind of pain in your hamstrings. Keep the knee as straight as possible. Or three, just lift the leg up to about 30 degrees, more or less. That's also good. You can keep your hand on your thigh and just kind of reminding you to try to keep that thigh engaged as much as possible, and then slowly lower down. We're going to do that a couple of times and lift the leg up. But I also now want you to actually lift the chest up a bit here. So actually feel like you're lifting the chest. You don't have to lift that much, okay? You can lift up just a little bit, or a little bit more, or a little bit more, as much as you can. So yogi's choice here. And then come on down. But doing that little lift will start to activate the trunk flexors in the upper chest, okay? Which is called the sternalis, and even into your fourth rectus abdominis. And then lift up again. And you're also kind of getting a little bit of upper TVA, a little bit of upper transverse abdominis here. And then slowly come on down. One of the things you want to do is really work on keeping that thigh of the lifted leg engaged as much as possible. And then come on up. Very good. And then come on down. And then come on up. Very good. And then you're just lifting up a little bit. Really work on keeping that knee as extended as possible. Keep that thigh of the extended leg as engaged as possible, and then slowly come on down. And let's do the other side now. So extend that knee of the other leg and then lift it up. And then lift up your chest again. If you can, I didn't mention this on the other leg, but if you can, actually kind of twist the torso a little bit, not a lot, into this leg. And then slowly down. Breathe in deeply and exhale deeply. And then slowly come on up. And then again, come on up, and a little bit of a twist. Nothing too major, but you'll feel this your muscles in your trunk flexors actually engaging a little bit more, and then come on down. And then come on up. Very good, my friends. And then come on down. And then come on up. And then come on down. And then come on up. Some of you might be asking yourselves, like, how many are we doing of these each time? The magic number in muscle activation, and the why is a little bit of a long-winded explanation, so I'm not going to give it right now. But the magic number is 6-6. 6 seconds, 6 times. Come on down. And then come on up. If you do a little bit more, that's completely fine. If you don't manage to do 6, that's also fine. But that's sort of the magic number that we're always shooting for. And then come on down. We'll do it one more time on this side. Before we do, just see if you can really engage that thigh, lift it up, and then start to lift your chest. And then twist a little bit into it. And then come on down. Wonderful, friends. We're going to do one more thing here. We're going to do one of my favorite poses. And in terms of anti-aging, this pose is great. We're going to be doing bridge pose. In Sanskrit, the word is Setupandasana. And bridge pose is just so wonderful because if you look at people as they get older, one of the things that you'll notice, 2 things actually. One is that the curve in their lumbar spine flattens. That's why we started with Sphinx pose. But they also start to get a flat ass. Their butt disappears. So that's really important because the glutes are one of our main drivers, our main movers as we move the body through space. Whether we're walking, squatting, bending over, whatever we're doing, getting up from a chair, you have to, how many people hurt their backs just by sitting up or getting up from a chair or getting up from the couch. They quote unquote throw their backs out. So getting the glutes working is so important because it helps us to move through space. So bend your knees, bring your feet just sort of on the outside of your hips. Bring the arms out to the sides. And Destiny's happy now because I'm touching her. She's wagging her tail. And okay, so when you do this, we're going to do it a little more gentle the first couple of times. So the first time, what I want you to do is just squeeze the glutes as much as you can and lift the hips up. Now, maybe about 2 or 3 inches, but just squeeze the glutes as much as you can. If you've done this before and want to come up higher, please do. Just make sure your arms are out to the sides because we're not using our hands to lift us up. We're using our glutes. And then slowly come on down. Try to relax here a little bit. Just take either a restorative breath, jiggle the glutes a little bit, and then squeeze them as much as you can. And then again, lift up about 3 inches, but then see if you can actually lift about another 3 inches. So we're up about 6 inches. Again, if it's a little more, a little less, that's fine. But really press down into the heels of your feet and squeeze the glutes as much as possible. Delicious. And then come on down. Beautiful. Okay, so breathe in deeply. And exhale deeply. And then again, squeeze the glutes. And then begin to lift up. Now, this time what I want you to do is actually lift up as high as you can. So you just come up to whatever height you can get up to, but keep squeezing the glutes. Press down through the heels of your feet. As you press down through the heels of the feet, you might notice that you get a little bit more lift, and then come on down. Beautiful. Breathe in deeply and exhale deeply. And then again, squeeze the glutes and then lift up. Lift up to 3 inches, 6 inches, maybe even 9, and then as high as you can. Breathe in deeply. Exhale deeply. Lift up a little bit more. And then come on down. Please remember to turn the corners of your mouth upwards. If you feel like a mess right now, that's also completely fine. You can be a happy mess. So squeeze the glutes and then lift up again. Lift up a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then come on down. Good work, my friends. That is it for our little series on the recommended muscle activation practices and stretches on how to restore youth and vitality, how to stay young forever. Please always remember that the feeling or the sense of getting old is always manifesting as stiffness and lack of mobility. If you do these 7 practices every day, I promise you, your whole life is going to change in a very dramatic way. Many questions that you have about these, you can fit them in every day. Do them in the morning, just when you wake up. Have a little bit of coffee as you do these. It'll give you some energy. Or tea. You can also do these before you go to work out, before you exercise, before you go for a hike, before you go for a walk. These are just fantastic. If it's too much for you to do them all at once, start to drip them in throughout your day. And as you do that, you're going to feel more empowered, have a sense of confidence so that you can go out to live your best youthful life. Namaste, friends. Have a super wonderful day and be blessed.